we all go through different things in life, and we all have ups and downs. No one's perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. I don't. We shouldn't even think about being perfect. Our spirits are perfect beings. What we're controlling these vessels are, but we should all. We're living a human experience, and we should all enjoy that experience, the ups and downs of it, and don't hold anything.
Right.
Don't hold on to the past. Don't dream about the future. Actually live in the present.
Oh,
So that's
that's
the only
good.
thing we actually get is the present. That's it.
Welcome to the We Got Problems podcast with co-hosts Curtis G. Martin, Rhonda L. Brown, and Caliph Johnson Sr., the one and only podcast where solutions get discussed to our community's everyday troubles. Each week, you will hear mind-blowing conversations and actionable tips and strategies that you can implement in your daily life to become more effective. We got problems and we got solutions.
All right, you guys, welcome to the show. This is We Got Problems, where we discuss solutions. I'm Curtis G. Martin. I'm here with my co-host, Rhonda L. Brown.
Hey, everybody.
My second co-host, Caliph Johnson Sr.
Peace. How y'all doing?
And we have a special guest in the house today. We have Brandon from Guilt-Free Pastries. Brandon, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do?
So, hey guys, my name is Brandon Thomas. I'm the chef and CEO of a company called Guilt-Free Pastries, located here in Memphis, Tennessee. The reason why we're guilt-free because everything is gluten-free, grain-free, refined sugar-free, butter-free, dairy-free, soy-free, made with organic ingredients, and everything is also vegan as well. We do custom orders. We ship everywhere in the world, and that's why we're guilt-free.
All right, so what made you want to start making healthy desserts?
Well, like the guilt-free lifestyle is what our foundation is based off of, was focused on aligning your mind, body, and spirit. That started back 21 years ago. I used to be 300 pounds. And so I went from like 300 to 175 in like 100 days. And so that's what started me actually caring about like reading the back of the labels and caring about what I put in my body. So I always cooked my entire life throughout college and grad school and everything. So I just kept getting it cleaner and cleaner. I had to come back up to Memphis to help take care of my elderly parents who are elders. And there's nothing healthy in Memphis, Tennessee. There wasn't anything healthy like in 2012 when I got back. And now it's about 30% more healthy. So we're getting close, nowhere near California, but we're getting closer. So I had to keep making things cleaner and cleaner. I found that avocado was a great replacement for butter. So I started making avocado brownies. People saw that, they started asking me to sell it, and then about almost 9 years later, I'm just like now.
Okay. So we saw you do work through the Memphis Grizzlies Foundation.
Mhm.
What do you do there?
So we mentor youth kids at Stacks Academy. It's a school in South Memphis. So we've done that for about 7 years now. We had to stop right when Corona and everything started. But we've done that for about 7 or 8 years. We mentor kids. So we go in and talk to 13-year-old boys and we mentor them about health and wellness and listen to out any issues they have being 13-year-old young black boys. And we sort of help guide them along their journey for the whole school year.
Okay. So, do you do any kind of consultations or like meal prep for anyone?
Yeah, we do consultations. We don't do meal preps anymore, but we do consultations, anything involving health and wellness. So we do consultation with individuals, couples, and also business consultation as well. We go grocery shopping with people if they need help to understand how to navigate grocery stores and all different things of that nature. And we do that globally as well.
So, do you have a meal plan set up?
No, we don't do like we don't have a meal plan prescribed, but we can write you one. If you said like, you need to get up at this time and things of that nature, we can definitely write you one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So what's some types of pastries that you guys have?
So the avocado brownies are one. We have vegan chocolate chip cookies, snickerdoodles, vegan snickerdoodle cookies. We have vegan cinnamon rolls. That's one of our biggest sellers right now. Our vegan cinnamon roll. That's an awesome pastry because most time you don't think of having a cinnamon roll with only having five main ingredients. So like that's the thing about everything we create. Everything has only like 8 ingredients. So it's not like 10,000 ingredients that you don't know the name of. It's not full of soy and all this other stuff that's bad for your body. But I would say like our biggest sellers are our vegan cinnamon rolls, our vegan chocolate chips, and the avocado brownie.
Oh, cool.
So, what are your views on fasting?
Um, I didn't know it was even called intermittent fasting when I started at 16. That's when I started my journey at 16. But I've been intermittent fasting for 21 years. So I don't eat after 1900 at all. So I really believe, or 7 p.m. So I really believe like fasting is really great for your body because you have to give it a break. You can't just keep throwing food in throughout the whole day when you're up. So I intermittent fast starting at 7 p.m. until normally around noon is when I sort of break that. It just depends on my workout schedule or my day or what I have to do. Sometimes when I do break my fast, I only eat fruit. So like 95% of my daily intake is just fruit. So I like to eat my water. And then I eat vegetables and nuts and seeds from there.
Okay, so with when someone's thinking about fasting, what are some of the recommendations that you would recommend to do it safely?
Safely, I always start people on a step down process. So it depends on your schedule. So if you work like a stereotypical 9 to 5 and you say you normally go to bed at like 11 p.m., I would say let's start 3 hours before that. Let's try not to eat. So if that's like 9 p.m., let's try like to stop eating at 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. And then let's work you back until you can get to a time frame where you feel comfortable enough where you're not eating anymore after that.
Now, would that be the same as? So I'm trying to get there, and we was just discussing this the other day. Like, I want to get to where I'm not eating after 6 p.m. But would if I juice the vegetables, would that be the same?
You mean the same as eating?
Yeah.
No, it's not the same because once you juice a vegetable, you're taking out all the fiber.
Well, actually, I should have said blend because I don't juice it. I actually
Okay.
blend it. Would that be the same blending?
It's you're still eating, but it's not. It's sort of like a gray area because you're not eating the whole fruit. You're not chewing and all that, so your body is not starting to. It starts the digestive process. Like once you look at this glass, your body's starting the digestion process. So once you actually put it in the juice, you're not actually eating it like the raw vegetable, but you are consuming something still. But that's still considered like if you're talking about people who are strict fasters who don't eat a single thing after a certain time, they will say you're eating. But if you're talking to someone like us, who we believe in like a guilt-free lifestyle, I mean, don't give it up, just make it guilt-free. You sort of walk a middle ground because if you start going, so most people, if you start going way too far right or way too far left, it's just like politics; they get too crazy. But if you come in the middle, you can sort of find a middle ground. So if you say, "Hey, Brandon, I'm drinking my juice and I stopped eating at 6 o'clock solids, but I drink my juice at 7:30 because I gotta edit this podcast from 8:30 to 10." And I'm like, hey, cool. You already stopped eating solids. That's a big goal for you. So you accomplished that goal. So what's wrong with having that 1 12-ounce juice at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or whatever? So I personally don't see a problem with that.
All right, cool.
Okay. Do you incorporate exercising into your routine?
Oh yeah. I love exercise. I do everything from A to Z myself personally. I've trained before throughout my journey of getting to where I'm at now. Group training, Zumba, aerobics, things like that. I'm a huge cyclist. I love cycling, so I do that during the summertime. I'm on a bike every morning when it's not raining. At least 20 miles. That's just like good warm up. So, a minimum 20 miles when I'm riding. We have a cycling group ourselves here in Memphis. We start that in June. We're going to start in May next year, but we start in June for the first 2 months. It's called the Ride Along Series. For the first 2 months, it's just for anyone. So we're trying to get everyone out. It doesn't matter if you haven't ridden a bike in 15 years or you ride 40 miles a day. We're trying to get everyone out because the whole thing, especially here in Memphis, is a very unhealthy city. I hate to have to keep saying that, but that's just the facts of the matter. And it's people like me and there's so many other people now, gratefully, who are trying to change that. So we're trying with the ride along series to get any and everyone out, especially people who look like us, because cycling is really a white sport. So we're trying to get more people who look like us into cycling, let them know that the barrier of entry is lower than what you think. You don't have to always buy a $7,000 bike. The city allows rentals. So we have that bike ride along series that everyone's involved to come out. And then myself personally, like I said, I cycle all the time. I do like CrossFit, high impact training, yoga, a lot of stretching, things of that nature, boxing, taekwondo, karate, all those different types of disciplines.
Okay, cool. So Peloton gang, we love. I do my Peloton. I haven't quite got out on the road yet, but We do the Peloton over here.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: what are 5 foods, if you're trying to get healthier, that you would recommend people cut out, and what are 5 things you would replace them with?
All right. So 5 to cut out. Anything that has soy in it. Anything that has you want the actual food or the ingredient?
No, just 5 things.
Okay. So like any type of, I just name names. Hopefully it won't hurt y'all. But beyond any type of beyond or impossible, that's basically garbage and crap. You
Hmm.
shouldn't put that in you whatsoever. I'm very guilt free, so hopefully this. I'm not gonna say any cuss words, but I'm just gonna take it like it is.
No,
So
you good.
I'm good. All right, cool. So beyond meats, anything like that. So that's gonna be your soy, your high fructose corn syrups, anything of those natures. I'm gonna say chips. So like what are those things the kids used to eat a lot of times?
Takis,
Yeah,
Takis.
that with the tea. Yeah, Takis, anything like that. Hot dogs, hamburgers from any fast food restaurant, Chick-fil-A, you shouldn't eat that. So yeah, I'm hitting sort of hard, but those are sort of 5 things I would say. So basically fast foods, soy, anything that's says it's vegan, but it's really unhealthy because it's man-made in a lab. So anything really just simply put processed and ultra processed foods. So
Okay.
that's the sort of it. What you should, the 5 things that you should do.
The 5
Uh,
that you add in.
any types of fruits and vegetables.
Hmm.
So that's 2 right there. I would say implementing different nuts and seeds.
Hmm.
That's the 3rd one. If you wanted to, because I don't believe in, like I said, I was like keep it making it guilt free. So if someone was actually coming to me and they ate chips like 10 times a day, I would recommend you looking at cleaner chips. So ones that are made of like it's controversial within the community I'm in, but you can sell like cassava flour. That's cleaner than what you came from.
Hmm.
So like when you ask somebody like me, I don't want to just take you all the way to the end where like someone like Dr. Sabi is at, but I try to get you on your journey. So I would say like cleaner chips will be great. Anything that's organic, anything that's made out of like blue corn or something like that if you're doing corn. So fruits, veggies, cleaner chips. If you had to say you really need a burger, I would look for burgers made out of like black bean or something like that, just with like 3 ingredients, maybe just black bean burgers, period. If you wanted to drink drinks, like if you used to drink milkshakes, I would say maybe switch to like a coconut based milkshake. So where you just simply take coconuts and cashews, you blend them up, and that's your milkshake.
And so with the bean burgers, what can you do to thicken those up a little bit? Because I've seen them where they just basically fall apart.
You can use an arrowroot starch, or you can use like a coconut flour. Those are going to be binding ingredients, and they're also going to thicken them up a little bit. That's going to let it hold better. You can use a black bean combination with a lentil, or you can just make a lentil burger out of just lentils.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, what are some exercises that we could do at home that we wouldn't get bored with? Because we always start something, and you get bored after a few weeks doing the same
Mm-hmm.
thing. What are some
Uh,
things you could recommend?
that varies a lot based off your skill level and your size, your gender, and things like that. But if you're someone like who can't even get up out of a chair, I would say just simply leaning back and doing leg raises, where you just take your knees bent right now, you're in a chair, and just extend your knee up and down. If you're starting at the very basics, so that's going to work your quads and it's going to work your lower abs just by doing that. So, but if you're talking about someone who's actually moving more than that, then I would say just simply taking a walk, just a simple walk around your neighborhood. That will get you started within itself. So after you start walking, maybe do a simple, if your athletic level is there, maybe walk a block around your neighborhood, and maybe on the next straight, maybe take a light jog and then walk the rest of it, and then build yourself up from there. Then once you get tired of walking, then you can start cycling. Once you get tired of cycling, you can move to a Peloton. Once you get tired of that, you can go to YouTube and watch all these different other videos if you're safe with doing those. So there's always ways to keep it, spice it up. Or if you have a gym membership, you can go to different group fitness classes as well.
Okay, so what would you say to someone to get them to change their thoughts on the way they're eating, just to kind of get them on their journey?
It depends on the age of the person I was talking to. If I'm talking to someone like at least within our age range, between 30 and up, I would say, I would listen to them. Let's say if they said like they're having hot flashes all the time, or they can't walk without these knee problems, or they're swollen, or a doctor said they're pre-diabetic, then I would just ask them, well, then when are you going to stop hurting yourself? That's the first question. If they said, well, my dad had diabetes or my mom had high blood sugar, it runs in the family. I'm like, no, well, a sick diet runs in your family. So I would say simply, what's one thing you do a lot? If they say I drink Coke, I actually met a person once who drinks Coke. What was that? 7 times a day. They drink 7 Cokes a day, so almost a 12 pack. So I was like, well, let's start. Well, let's drink six Cokes a day. So I would start somewhere there. I would find whatever they eat the most, and then just cut it down by one. And then I may just use like a scare tactic, like I just mentioned before, to try to hit them over the head and try to wake them up a little bit.
Wow, that's good. All right, so what would you say to someone that to get them? I'm sorry. Are you looking to franchise guilt-free pastries and put it in other cities?
That's a pretty big question. That's sort of like a behind the doors type question. So we've actually been working. We've actually been working with a different individual who teaches about the franchise process and things of that nature. Because, like I said, we do ship everywhere, and California is a big market that we're trying to tap into, of course, because everyone's healthy in Southern California. At least, that's what they say. That's the market. That's what you guys market to the rest of the country, at least. So we're looking forward to franchising. We hopefully within the next 3 years, we may be able to have everything complete and be able to start marketing that correctly. We already have different design concepts for the layouts of the buildings complete. We had the construction layouts done. We know the price of what everything will cost, but there's still some other back end things that I have to talk to the rest of the staff about, especially my finance person, to get it cleared up. But we are thinking about franchising.
That's cool.
Because I don't. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to ask you: is there anything that you wanted to talk about your business that we haven't asked you? What's that one thing or a couple of things that something about your business that you want the people to know?
That we're really here for the people, really. That's the biggest thing about guilt-free pastries. When I created it, I wanted it to be accessible for everyone. So we do also have custom orders that we create any and everything you can think of pastry related. Like I said before, we do ship everywhere. And also that we have a social media platform that we're really pushing out free material to all the time on our Instagram. And we're doing our YouTube now that we're going to be racing out way more information on about health and wellness tips and things of that nature.
Okay.
So do you have an accountability partner or coach or mentor?
I've had a couple mentors along my journey so far. I mean, Mr. Curtis was one himself. Some years ago when I met him, any business owner has to have great credit. So he helped me along that journey to get. I'm 800 across the board now, so he helped me along that journey. So he's one. There's different mentors here. Like there's a man named Philip Ashley with Philip Ashley Chocolates. He was one of my mentors before, just let me understand how. One thing I always remember from him is he was saying, eating your products, eating money doesn't taste good. So as like a chef, when you're cooking, you're tasting. A lot of chefs are eating a lot, but you're eating money. You're eating the product, so you're eating your money away. So that was one good helpful tip from that. But yeah, I have a lot. Actually, my other executives, all were my mentors before, and so we all work like a team. We're like basically like the Justice League. We all work like that. There's a Batman, there's a Wonder Woman, there's a Superman, Aquaman. When we talk about
I like that.
There's a Flash. So there's all different things. Like that's how we work. We work as a unit, work as a team. So those are all my mentors. My staff are my mentors.
Okay, so when you were starting, did you start an LLC or S corp? If so, why? And is it in a trust?
When I first started, no, it was just I just started. It wasn't by this business was not by design whatsoever. I mean, I literally, like I told you, it was a used car salesman who walked into Whole Foods, saw me buying a lot of avocados. He was like, I give you $20 for a batch. I was like, okay. I went to his used car lot. He literally spoke my business into existence. He asked me, what was the company name? I had a Zach Morris moment. I said, I make pastries and they're guilt free. That's sort of how it started. So I just literally went to the circuit court just got the little regular, you know, doing business as, and that was it. And then from that point on is LLCs. We're going into an S corp now. We're forming the trust now. We're forming our holding company now as well, because Guilt Free Pastries is just one company of mine. So my goal, it says chef on my shirt, but that's not my trajectory in life. My trajectory is owning a lot of different businesses and having my hands in different things that help the community. So we're forming all the different S corps and the holding and trust now.
Okay. So did you
Oh, go ahead, Rhonda.
did you have like a business plan, or did you do market research before you started, or you just simply they asked for that, told you he was gonna pay you $20 for a pan and it was over with?
Yeah, I didn't have any. I'm like, when I tell you, I literally just started. This was not my design. This was by you can whatever higher power you believe in, God, Allah, the Most High, whatever you believe. That was her design. That was not my design. My design. I'm trained. I went to school for like a large amount of my life for 9 years in higher education. So all of my degrees, I'm a social psychologist by academic training, just titles. So that's my training, is in understanding the human mind and how humans work individually and a group. So that's what my whole goal set of career was focused towards. When I came back up here, I had to do something else, and I just started. That just happened. It wasn't by design whatsoever. But no, but now is there a business plan along the journey? Yes, business plans were created. SOPs. I didn't know what an SOP. I never worked in corporate America in my life. Like I never I've only had college jobs, and then boom, I started creating this. So it was more like people around me. It's like energy attracts like energy. So it started attracting the right people around me to teach me these things that they got from corporate America. So I always say the best way to run a small business is to run the back end like a corporate America, but the front end like a small business. And that's what we're doing now. We have SOPs. We're recreating different complete structures for the company now as well. So that way, like Mr. Curtis was saying, when I get ready to franchise, I'm already positioning this business. So not just franchising, if I want investors to come in, it's not me. So that's the whole thing. I'm trying to separate me from guilt-free pastries. I'm not guilt-free pastries. The customers are guilt-free pastries. Anyone can walk in and create what I create based off the SOPs. That's the way I like to structure it, so that way it can have scalability.
Okay.
I love that. I love
So,
that.
so do you monitor what others are doing in your industry?
Say that one more time.
Do you monitor what others are doing in your industry?
Oh yeah, the competition. Yeah, I do. So that's why, like, when I say we only have 5 main ingredients. There's others who are similar to us. They may have 8 to 10 ingredients. Their ingredients may have so many different types of stuff, because most of the people who are like us, who are doing it on a national scale, don't look like us. So they base their food off that fact. So they have a lot of stevia, a lot of monk fruit, or things of that nature. That's where they come from. That's what they do. I base my food off what I look like. So I don't use things that I know from my studies, and I continue learning always. I'm a student of life, of what harms people who look like us. So I don't use stevia, I don't use monk fruit, I don't use anything with soy in, because that's not meant for our bodies. So I only use, like, if it's not vegan, I use local raw honey from a black farmer. I use organic maple syrup now, dark maple syrup, because that's more accessible for the body. It doesn't increase your ALC levels that high. So everything I do is made around health, because my dad had diabetes. He died from it. My mom had high blood pressure, all that stuff. All that stuff ran in the family. So I saw that. So I'm like, food is medicine. So even pastries, in my mind, is medicine. It's high in omega-3, it's high in fiber, it's high in vitamins D and C. Everything I make is that. Now, you may not see all those ingredients on it because you have to leave a little secret, right? But
There we go.
everything has that in it. And I don't know if you can't tell, but when you start talking about food and health, I'm very passionate about it, especially our community, because we kill ourselves. We always point the finger everywhere else. But I think Michael Jackson said it best: the man in the mirror is the first person you point the finger at, right? And that's how I live my life. I take accountability first before I look anywhere else. So what we put in our mouth, we all adults. We should know better than just put stuff in our mouth that we don't even know what it is on the back of the back of it. You know, that's just common sense. So when people start asking me about, like, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'm like, we're all adults. We know what we're doing wrong. We know why we have this. We know why we're this way. Let's just stop doing it and get to work and stop making excuses.
So were there any times where when you started guilt-free pastries that you like, man, this ain't gonna work, man. I don't know. I'm ready to give up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a small business started from scratch without any plans. So that means it wasn't any finances. I mean, to be bluntly, at that time, I still had a car note and it was like right at $500. So I said, I'll just throw $500 into this and see what happens. That's what I did. And I'm still here. So yeah, there's been plenty of times you just invested $500 to a food business, the most business, like the number one business that basically fails within like less than 5 years normally. So yeah, there's been a bunch of times. I mean, you can even say during COVID, when all that hit in 2020, I was like, man, what are we gonna do? But thankfully, once again, my basically one of my other team members, he is a how did I say it? He is a person who sees a forecaster. His whole job is he sees what's going to happen years before it happens. So in 2016, he told us, let's transition out of a brick and mortar into digital because there's something coming that's going to be digital more important. So that's why, Rhonda, when you said you came here, you weren't able to find us because we were on Main Street in Memphis for about 2 years. But once he said that, he showed the proof for it. We 100% transitioned to e-commerce. That dropped our Mr. Curtis, our overhead completely. So now we don't have to worry so much about the brick and mortar, all that different stuff. And we're just simply able to have the kitchen that we rent out of our space, and then we ship everywhere. So those types of shifts. And other thing about us is like when I live a guilt-free lifestyle, we're always pivoting. There is no set force. There's no set track when you live a guilt-free lifestyle. You have to understand you always have to pivot. Something may come up where, hey, I may have to shift guilt-free completely this way. The menu may have 15 items on it. That item may not be able to be purchased or sourced a certain way. So we have to take it off. So that's something that, like, if I can't source an ingredient, as people who drink alcohol say, they say, what, top shelf? If I can't source the top of the top is of the top shelf, then I'm cutting it out because I'm not going to put anything in anybody that I don't eat. That's just, and I eat a certain way, so I cook a certain way.
And you mentioned pivoting. Before we pivot, I got one more question around that. Maybe a business idea, right?
Okay.
How about guilt-free pastry food trucks?
That's a good idea.
I just wanted to throw that out there, right? But I think since I kind of jumped in there, I'll go ahead and say we're gonna go with these rapid fire questions. What's the most important thing you've learned in life?
Is that I don't know everything. That's the most important thing. I don't know everything, and I'm always a student of life.
So if you could turn back time and talk to your 18-year-old self, what would you say?
Go slower.
Okay. If you could sit down and have a conversation with anybody, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Oh man, that's not a rapid fire at all. Way too many people for that. But I would have to say like an easy answer, a quick answer would be Malcolm X in his Abdul Sharif, the rest of it phase. Not Malcolm Little, not Detroit Red, of course, but Malcolm X maybe 1960 to 1963.
The transition.
Yeah, specifically that version of Malcolm X. That's who I would like to talk to. Not because I don't see him as a radical. I don't see King as a radical. I see them both as almost the same man living two different lives, experiences. So that's who I would probably say.
If you can recommend one book to the people, what would it be?
Eat to Live.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What's your best tip for making our communities a better place to live?
Taking responsibility.
Okay. So how do you balance your family life and business life?
I don't have any kids. I'm just recently got engaged, so it's really easy. Honestly, like I said, my father's transition. I do see my mother from time to time help take care of her still. So it's really not that big of a family for me. So it's really just me and my fiance. She's now on the team as well. So that makes it pretty easy because she's always with me, business and personal. So that's fairly easy for me.
So how can the people find you and get your services or just to contact with you?
Cool. Easy. They can just go to Google and just type in guilt-free pastries. We'll be the first people to pop up. Guilt-free pastries on every social media site, YouTube, guilt-free lifestyle. Just that easy.
And that's GUILTFREEPASTRIES, guilt-free pastries.
Yes, sir. That's it.
All right. So one last thing. What's something you want to leave the people with, either about yourself, your business, or just some words of wisdom?
I would say we all go through different things in life and we all have ups and downs. No one's perfect. I'm nowhere near perfect. We shouldn't even think about being perfect. Our spirits are perfect beings. What we're controlling these vessels are, but we're living a human experience and we should all enjoy that experience, the ups and downs of it, and don't hold anything. Don't hold on to the past. Don't dream about the future. Actually live in the present.
Oh,
That's the only
good.
thing we actually get is the present. That's it.
Rhonda, you have anything you want to leave the people with?
Oh, take care of your bodies.
Yeah, there we go. How about you, Trash?
Man, thank you, King. I just really want to appreciate you and give you your flowers while you're here, because what you're doing for our community is long overdue needed. Someone to really educate us on the simple, easy, guilt-free way to enjoy life. And I just got to say thank you for that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep. And I just want to say, man, everybody get into or get on your journey of eating healthier. Like Brandon said, food is medicine, and we need to make sure we're taking care of our bodies. And also, we're going to make sure if you guys need some guilt-free pastries, make sure you guys tapping out or getting with Brandon, tapping in and getting with Brandon, and he can ship that thing wherever you want. I didn't know you ship everywhere, so I'm going to definitely go look at the menu. You'll see an order coming in from me, and then I'll get something shipped out. So I'm sure the team is too, because we love trying different vegan recipes. We actually going on a journey next week where we going no process, but as soon as we come off that, we definitely ordering. Right?
Hey, no, hold on. No, that's guilt-free. Hold on. Guilt-free?
No, we have to make it ourselves. Oh, yeah. You remember on the journey, we got to make it ourselves. Right?
I'm be looking for some recipes, bro. Don't worry about it. You'll see me too.
All right. I appreciate it, guys.
Yep. Hey, so you guys, this is We Got Problems, where we also have solutions, and we out.
From the team at CRC Empire, we want to thank you for listening. To stay connected with us, like, share, and subscribe to the We Got Problems podcast. You can find us on social media platforms at Curtis Martin 247, at Rhonda Wrights Official, and at the_trash_vegan_. We got problems and we got solutions.